Welcome to the Lifeline, a production of Simply BJE. The goal of this podcast is to build, inspire, and to empower our listeners through conversations on business, leadership, and mental health. We invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and at www.simplybje.com/the Lifeline. Now, let's tune in for today's episode. Top of the day, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this episode of the Lifeline. We're your hosts, life coach and motivational speaker Bo Powell, social media influencer and owner of the For Real brand, Lindsberg Petway, and yours truly, leadership coach and mental health advocate Barry J. Elliott. You can visit us at www.simplybje.com/the Lifeline and on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, and now on YouTube. Today, we have a special guest, mental health professional, licensed therapist, author, and certified personal trainer, Mr. Isaiah Banks. Mr. Banks, how are you today?
I'm doing well.
Thank you for joining us. We're glad to have you today. Today, we're going to be talking about gratitude. But before we dive into that conversation about gratitude, as we observe Thanksgiving, I'm going to ask everybody that question. What is one of your favorite Thanksgiving memories? And I'll start with you, Isaiah.
My favorite Thanksgiving memory. I'll say recently, this was last year. I was with my girlfriend. This is the first time introducing her to the family, right? So it was a pivotal moment for us, right? And my family always has a time where we all sit down and list off what we're thankful for. And I went out, listed my family, friends, etc. And then I got to a point where I listed off my girlfriend. She's sitting there next to me, right? I'm sitting there, I'm saying, I love you for this. I appreciate her for that. That is in the third. And that was one of the moments where I really sat there and that was the point where I reflected to myself that I love this woman deeply.
Wow.
Right. And she means so much to me. And we didn't hit a year mark yet. But that point in time was a point where I realized the power of our love right there in front of everybody.
Right? That's great. That's powerful.
So that's mine right there.
Okay.
Yeah,
good stuff.
That's a real moment there.
Mr. For Real?
I have two. I'll say when you said that, I saw it as plain as day. When I was younger, I used to go to the Detroit Lions games every Thanksgiving with my sister, who was a sales manager at a dealership. And we used to sit in the suite with Mel Farr, who played for the Lions. And just that memory of going to the game, watching the Lions. Back then, we would lose, unfortunately. But it was the fact of I knew every Thanksgiving that was going to happen, then coming back home. And then here recently, within the last 3 years, say 2021, we brought a home and we became the host for the family. So I really enjoy family coming over, have an opportunity to spend time with family, express what we're thankful for, but just having the opportunity to be able to host everyone. So I think that's one of my favorite memories, is being able to host.
That's special, man. That's special.
Yeah.
Mr. Bo, talk to us.
Man, I won't say that I have necessarily like one Thanksgiving more than I can say just a season of my life where I enjoyed Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. But man, I think some of my best Thanksgivings were just when I was a kid and we would all go visit my grandmother's house. Like everybody would be there. My aunts from Maryland, my cousins, everybody would be. I mean, we'd have the house full, just the traditional Black Thanksgiving, and with all the goodness and even the drama surrounding that, man.
You gotta have a little drama thing.
You gotta have some drama, man. I won't tell that story, man. But if my sister and my cousins were listening, they'd know exactly what Thanksgiving I'm talking about.
Wow.
But those are always, maybe that's why I love Thanksgiving so much, is I just remember that moment where we would get together at grandma's house and everybody would be there just having a good time, so much food, man. So, when I think of Thanksgiving, that's automatically where my mind goes.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm kind of like you. I don't have, well, I have a lot of Thanksgiving I can remember that were
Yeah.
good, but I think for me, I enjoyed when Thanksgiving was less commercialized in the sense that we weren't trying to rush to get to Black Friday.
Right.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's when Thanksgiving for me was a big deal. It's still a big deal for me, but I enjoyed that time. So that was a great memory for me.
Well, we like Black
Yeah.
Fridays.
Of course you do. You're
Yeah.
retail. Of course you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like
But
Black Friday, yeah.
but like I think now like people they leave dinner early so they can get up early in the morning.
Yeah,
It's less, it's more, I think there's less attention on the family orientation, the family
yeah,
time, and I miss that.
Yeah.
yeah. I think the last couple of years, the two major players have pushed their hours back. I think they tried that a couple of years, getting people in there really early.
Hmm.
But those two major players, those two arts, they kind of pushed the time back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oftentimes, when we get into start talking about gratitude, you can't forget about the word thankfulness. And a lot of times those kind of words are used synonymously, but they're actually subtly different. So when we start talking about thankfulness and gratitude and stuff like that, Brother Branch, in your mind, like what's the difference between the two?
You mean Banks?
Mm, thanks. What'd I say? We got to
Branch.
do that again.
You
Did I say Branch?
you did. You did. You thinking about Jason Branch.
No, I'm not. That's what I saw when I looked up there, man.
That's all right. That's my nickname. That's
Is
my
it?
nickname. Well, but in regards to your question, the difference between the two, when I think of gratitude, I think of being within a moment and being present versus when you're thankful, you're reflecting back on your gratitude. So it's some distance there. And for me, I always tell clients to bring it back to mental health a little bit that if you're going to be present, if you're going to be focused on this time and space, right, then I need you to be grateful, right? Be very intentional about you being here and list off the things that you appreciate, no matter how big or small. And there's so many different things to be have gratitude with. You just
Mhm.
have to continue to be intentional about your way of thinking of that. There's so many people that take waking up in the morning, being able to go to the refrigerator and get some food, being able to go to a church, to go to a hospital, right? There's so many places in the world where you're not able to do that. The hospital was shot up. I mean, my girlfriend, she's Haitian, and it's chaos over there, to say the least. And so being intentional about gratitude and being present, that's how to differentiate the two.
man, that's a very good uh, quote unquote definition. On a personal level, what does gratitude truly mean to you?
Mhm. Personally, gratitude is saying that I'm right here. I'm in front of these gentlemen who I've met for the first time. And it's different emotions, right? And I'm saying that because I just came out of a therapy session with a client. She had some difficulties. And so some anxiety that built up from her, right, is sitting here in front of this computer and I'm feeling, right, the excitement, right, to share my word and share the message I have for the people that's going to be viewing. So it's being here, it's being present within this moment, not thinking about what I have to do tomorrow or next week or next year, right? But just being here in this state with you all. For me personally, that's what that is.
Okay. So based upon that statement, I guess you would equate that your interaction with people on a personal and a professional level, you would rate your gratitude on a scale of 1 to 10 being what?
And 10, I'm assuming, is a positive
Is the positive,
rating.
yeah. 10 is the best.
Okay. That's a great question. I would say it's around a seven
Okay.
mark. Yeah.
Now, would you say that because uh, my vibe that I'm getting for you from you is that professionally you have intention with your clients and you want to see them succeed. So is that sort of based upon how much success they have within their personal training growth, losing weight, getting stronger, and those breakthroughs mentally when they're speaking with
Yes, it's being there for them when they need me to be and encouraging them along the way because it's so easy for them to get distracted or lose hope. But if I could be that voice for them, if I can be that shoulder for them, then just tell them you got this,
them. Right.
right? And not only that you got this, but you did this before. And let's go into how it was when you did that before, right? And you succeeded.
Mm-hmm.
Reminding them of that, pushing them, encouraging them. That's my win for the day. And even if they were to make a mistake, right? Even if they were to, I had a client earlier today, she had homework, she didn't complete it. So instead of me getting down on her, right, saying you didn't do your homework, what's going on, right, in negative fashion, I told her, I said it happens, but let's get back on track.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a very unique perspective that you have because training people physically, you know, they need that push and that motivation. But at the same time, when you're listening to a person, you know, kind of share their thoughts and those breakthrough uh, mentally, you have a unique dynamic. How do you cross those over in your sessions? Do you ever train someone that you're that's a mental patient or mental client?
That's an excellent question. So it's actually a business idea. I'll share it live, right, on November 26th with you all. So I eventually want to have the business where I'm combining the two, where I'm starting off having a mental health session with a client for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then afterwards, we're working out afterwards,
Mm,
weightlifting, cardio, etc. And I've never had a client where I've did the two, but one day I will when I have that business.
okay.
And I've noticed for the two, which is how I got the idea, I noticed that they're hand in hand. How you feel physically, you can see that mentally, and vice versa at times. And so if you feeling pretty good, right? If your mental straight, you'll see your body start to form in that fashion. And that's a beautiful picture to me, right? That
Right.
is greatness, right? When you have the balances of your physical, mental, spiritual, etc. That's all on an up and up. It's never going to be perfect, but if you're working on all of those, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. And so, with that being said, I know a lot of times you encounter people that kind of lack in that area, of gratitude. So, what do you think is maybe some of the biggest reasons, that people, struggle when it comes to gratitude, man?
For some people, it's many things. One of them is being focused on the future, being focused on what you have to do next, what you want to accomplish. And for other people, it's what you didn't do, what you
Mhm.
should have said, what you could have said. And then we're talking about anxiety versus depression. So for a lot of people, it's the distractions, right, with that, or it's the what ifs with that, the whole mentality with that. And you also have distractions. We live in a day and age where you can go on your phone, you can scroll. As you're doing that, you're seeing your favorite celebrity, family, friends. You're seeing it all. You're seeing
Mhm.
that catch from, right, AJ Brown.
Mhm.
Right.
You've
Mhm.
seen it all within a scroll of maybe 30 seconds. So it's distractions for a lot of people. And so with that being said, people are not focused on gratitude right now. They focused on what I should have or what I
Mhm.
could have did.
Mhm. I mean, so That's a good point. I mean, what role do you feel like maybe social media and the way our culture is set up, how it may impact that? Mm,
It's a huge impact
mm,
because it causes people to compare themselves
mm, mm,
and try to focus on things that don't concern them. So if you're someone who you sell cars, I'm in the mental health field. I can't be upset because I didn't sell a car today. Just like you can't be upset that you didn't help a mental health client today, right? But
Right.
mm,
with social media, to stay with that metaphor, now I'm upset because I didn't sell enough cars, right?
mm,
My sales are down today, and it causes one to lose themselves, and you get lost on the scrolling.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a
mm,
great point because once you scroll, I was talking to somebody about this today, and they say Instagram models and these people who have success and click here and subscribe. If you follow me, I'll teach you how to do these things. You forget about, like you said, you were able to wake up, go to your refrigerator, just the necessary, simple things to be thankful for. Show gratitude because you're worried about or you're looking at or you're trying to get what they have and achieve what they have. And they really are just living a falsified evidence of a lie.
mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So it's a mirage. I mean, really,
yeah.
what you're saying
Right,
is a
right.
mirage.
Well, well, before you ask that,
For
that
sure.
just to go off a little bit, Beth, just to kind of continue down this road a little bit. What would you say for people who have maybe been in down seasons, if you will, or longer periods where, maybe there's like we say, life is life, and you know, what do you say to that person who's just because life's going on, circumstances are happening? What do you say to that person? How do they get to that place of gratitude? You know?
Mhm. Mhm. I would tell that person seek help, seek help from a professional. And of course, I'm being biased, but at the same
Mm,
time, I am being honest. And for a lot of people, they tend to carry the weight on themselves. And you see people hunched down, and you don't know why they hunched down, right? And when
mhm,
I'm saying hunched down, it could be upset, it could be arguing, yelling, etc. And you like, what's going on? Like you see the reaction, but you don't see what caused the reaction. A lot of people hold that weight on themselves and they don't seek the help. So I would say seek some support, and more or other tips I would say is to get a piece of paper,
Mm.
write down things that you are grateful for, list them off, go into detail, no matter how big or small, right? And really review that list, acknowledge everything on that list, and really take it to heart. Keep it with yourself, no matter where you go. Keep it in your wallet, your car. I tell people all the time, make notes in your bathroom mirror. I mean, we go to the bathroom every day. So why not have something important right there in our face as we look at ourselves as well? So I would say keep a gratitude entry list. Meditation is helpful as well. Prayer works. I tell people all the time, continue to focus on your purpose, your passion, and continue to love yourself. Continue to love yourself, indeed.
Let
that's
me
good.
let me ask you this. What is the impact? Because we hear a lot of conversation about gratitude. If you've been paying attention to mental health lingo for the past few years, you hear gratitude, you hear self-awareness, you hear self-care. But in particular, as it relates to gratitude, what is the effect of gratitude on the mental state?
So it's many, or I should say, is many levels of impact when it comes down to gratitude and mental health. One of them is to reduce your stress level, focused on when you're going through something and you're not sure how you're going to get through it. A simple reminder that I have something that I didn't have to be given. And you could go as deep as saying life. You could say you have a car. A lot of people wish for the things that you currently have. And so it reduces some level of stress when you think about it from that perspective. And I'd also say it just makes you feel overall good, is a positive feeling from thinking that I don't have this, I don't have that, to saying, at least I have this. It's so important that I had that at that moment because it was so necessary and it was so needed for me. And so life satisfaction is also better, according to research, when one is filled with gratitude and they're constantly appreciative of the space and time that they're in. And so it's many benefits, right? When you talk about the mental health side of gratitude.
So, what do you think? What's the correlation, just, in layman's terms, what is the correlation between gratitude and peace of mind, or even gratitude and sanity, whichever you choose to call it?
Mm-hmm. The gratitude for a lot of people, it's the peace of mind. It's the fact that you are focused on what you have in front of you, what you were blessed with. And for a lot of people, the simple reminders that you have something that you didn't always have, right? Or something that you once thought in your mind, I'm going to have that, whether it's that car, that business, that girlfriend, that husband, what have you. The fact you had that in your mind as an idea and you took steps to get there, right? You have waken up this morning and you simply was able to even make a decision. That reminder within itself to yourself, it helps you get a peace of mind. So it's very important.
Wow, that's powerful. I know you said this earlier, but besides the journal, what are some other practical ways that a person can incorporate gratitude into their daily life?
Yes. So in addition to the journaling, one can meditate. I recommend mindful meditation, even though it's different levels of meditation. But mindfulness has been something that, to be transparent, I utilize every morning. And it gives you, right, to use that phrase again, that peace of mind, that you're in this present space, in this present time. And in addition to the meditation, you have exercise. Exercise is another way of feeling that sensation in your body that I'm moving, I'm active, I feel my heart pumping, my brain, that's a whole different right area, but you're still here, you're focused on what you're doing. And
Right.
there's a correlation between well-being and exercise. This all correlates with gratitude because you're focused on what you're doing.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I think that's good. So yeah, I'm back in the gym. So
He had to throw that out there. He had to throw that out
yeah,
there.
yeah. Hey man, hey, I got to get ready for Thanksgiving, man. It's a big day coming up on Thursday.
Big day,
So
sir.
That's
so
right.
with
That's right.
so with that being said, as we celebrate it, and this is actually something we all should chime in on. For what do as we come approach Thanksgiving, I should say, what are you guys most grateful for?
Oh man, let me answer this. It is,
Mm.
as I stated earlier, I am really grateful. We were talking about this earlier. So I just went and picked my son up from college at Oakland University, where I started in 1990. So I'm picking him up from the school that I started at. And on the way back, we had a conversation. We talked about young ladies. We talked about his classes. I gave him some advice on how to handle, pace yourself. I was truly grateful for that moment to have a conversation on another level with my oldest son. And I'm grateful because my father died when I was 2. So I didn't have that conversation. And as Bo and Barry know, I know that I love my sons and I try to pour everything that I didn't get into them. So that's just one thing I mean, taking care of my mom, my wife, all that. I mean, but that moment there, that's the thing that just hit me. I was truly grateful for that.
That's epic.
Couple, yeah,
Nice.
like 45 minutes ago on the way home, bringing me back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Barry?
What am I grateful for? I'm grateful
Yeah.
for I'm grateful for healthy connections.
Mm.
Um, you know, we live in an insane world, and people are, excuse me for saying this, therapists, but people are out of their minds. And so to have relationships, to have sane people in your life is a blessing. And so I'm grateful for people in my life, in particular, men in my life who are godly, who are thinkers, and who I know there's mutual respect, but I know they have my back. I'm grateful for that because everybody, it sounds strange, but everybody doesn't have that.
Yeah.
And I'm
Mm.
grateful for being able to celebrate my grandmother's 93rd birthday a couple of days ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and jump in there because you're going to get the last word, Brother Banks. And but I'm grateful for just life more than anything. You know, Barry, what you just said struck a chord with me. My mom just celebrated her 84th birthday and has been experiencing a few health challenges this year. But being that she's okay, all her tests come back normal, she's fine. That's something to be very, very grateful for. But just even just the transitions that are taking place in my life for the good. I'm certainly grateful for that. They don't always feel the best, but I'm certainly grateful that I can actually feel them.
Yeah.
And I know that on the other side of them is nothing but good things to come. So I'm grateful for that. You know, my grandkids, you know, my relationships, you know, a lot of great things that are happening in my life in spite of. So I'm certainly grateful for that. And so, Brother Banks, before you start on your gratefulness deal, I want you to also, once you get to the end, let everybody know how they can get in touch with you on social media, by email and stuff like that. But before you do that, tell us what you're grateful for, my brother.
Yes, I am grateful for waking up this morning. I'm grateful for having purpose, having a loving family, a loving girlfriend, my parents. In addition to my family, I want to highlight them separately because they have been truly a blessing. And it's been just an honor, right, to be here amongst you all. Grateful for this experience. I'm also grateful for the bad times. And I'm saying that because this has been such a tough year for me. It honestly has been. But I'm so glad I went through it because it made me that much stronger. And I just appreciate the little moments that you gather after you facing a tough challenge, a difficulty, and you have those scars, you have those
Mm.
wounds, and you may even look them at times, right? Just making sure that you're okay. But those are just reminders that you've been through something and you still can continue to succeed. And they were talking resilience. And so I am appreciative of the life I've been given. I'm appreciative of just experiences in general, right? And I don't like to, right, continue to say the same thing, but for me, I'm just appreciative of life within itself. It's such a beautiful thing, right? And so that's some of the things I'm grateful for.
Just so you know, you're in good
Beautiful.
company because I think all three of us have had a rough year this year in some way,
Oh
shape,
yeah.
or form.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a year, and
Yeah.
so
And
yeah, we've had a year, and
yeah,
but
this
we
year
still
has been
here.
yearing.
Yeah, it's been the year has been yearing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
It's
been
been for real.
it's been a beast. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If it was not for my faith, I'm pretty sure I would have thrown the towel several times over.
Several times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just thinking
Mm.
about that today, and I was recapping. I recapped a year financially from this year, and then I just recapped. I was like, wow, this has been very interesting. It started off with fireworks in Vegas, but since I've been
Yeah.
come back, it's been like, downhill. But I know God is good, and next year He has great
Yeah,
things for us all.
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, but again, Brother Banks, as before we close out the show, let our listeners know how they can connect with you, email, social media, even for those who may want to take advantage of your services. How can they find you online?
Yes. So the best way to reach me is through my professional Facebook page. It is Isaiah D. Banks, just like the name on the screen, exactly like that. You'll see a picture of me, and I also have my website to my group practice that I'm a part of with Dr. Tina Scott in West Philly. And I'm currently a clinician there. And so if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see a blink.com is a virtual business card. And I'll have all my information for my YouTube, my professional YouTube, my professional TikTok, the group practice information, everything is there, as well as my work number as well.
Nice. Well, listeners, man, this includes another episode of The Lifeline with your hosts, BJE, Lynchburg Petway, and Bo Powell. Don't forget to check us out at www.simplybje.com/The Lifeline and on social media. Look, we're on a mission. We want to bring light and life into your household, so join us and let us hear your feedback because it's all about bringing life to you on The Lifeline. Y'all take care.
Thank you for listening to today's episode with host, business expert, and life coach Bo Powell, social media influencer and entrepreneur Lynchburg Petway, and leadership coach and mental health advocate Barry J. Elliott. Join us next week for another impactful conversation on The Lifeline. God bless.